Hello guys, and welcome to Unit 1, Lesson 10, Bisectors and Line Relationships. This is going to go over the 1 and 2 parts, and it includes the mid-unit review. And so first let's take a look at some key terms. An angle bisector is a line segment array that divides an angle into two congruent angles. A conjecture is an educated guess based on observations. A midpoint is a point that divides a line segment into two congruent parts. A perpendicular bisector is a line that is at the midpoint of and perpendicular to a line segment. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit more in depth. And then a segment bisector is a line segment array that passes through the midpoint of a line segment. We will show you visuals of all of these. So here's some visual vocab for you. Okay, the term angle bisector. So if you see the illustration, let me grab my pen. If you see the illustration right here, this has cut that angle into two congruent parts. We have tick marks showing that those are equal. Then we have a midpoint. Okay, a midpoint, it cuts a segment into two equal parts because it's right there in the middle. That's why we call it a midpoint. Okay, a perpendicular bisector, that's the one that's like, when you read that definition, it's like, what are you saying? But if you look at it closely, okay, we've drawn a perpendicular line. Perpendicular means it's at a 90-degree angle. Okay, and then when we drew that line, it cut the other line segment in half, so it gave us two. It can go all the way just to the line, or it can go all the way through the line. Perpendicular bisectors can. Okay, segment bisectors, okay, so they are lines that are drawn through angles and then making them equal. That's your segment bisectors. Okay, so here's some symbols that you need to remember, okay, that might pop up on the mid-unit test. Okay, the symbol for congruency is an equal sign with a little squiggly above it, so make sure that you remember that one. This symbol is the angle symbol, so we write it in front of angles, as you can see written right here. Okay, so it says angle CDA. You also write it like, you can write it, well, where's my pen? If I can get my pen to work for you. Okay, so you can say like angle M. Okay, so that little symbol right there is, it just means angle. Okay, then when we talk about the measure of an angle, okay, we can use the little m before the measure. So if I'm going to say the measure of angle C, so I'm going to say the measure, little m denotes measure, of angle C. Okay, we can make whole sentences in geometry just using symbols. Okay, so let's take a look at one of the examples. It says name the angle bisector of CDA. So the first thing to do is to highlight angle CDA. So you start at C, go to D, and then go up to A. Okay, so it's saying what segment or line or ray cuts CDA. So, well, if you look at it, you can highlight it. Well, you'd say it's this one right here. Okay, you can name this two ways. Okay, you can name it, let me switch my pen color here. You can say that the answer is line segment DE. Okay, so just to go from here to here. Or you can say line segment DB. Okay, either one of those would be answers. Okay, name the angle bisector of BAD. So I'm going to highlight BAD. Identify the line that cuts it in half. And then I'm going to name it. And this can be either just from here to here. So it can be line segment AE, or you can go the whole way and say that it was a line segment AC. Okay, either one of those will work. Okay, so now we have another problem. You're still using the same diagram. It says if the measure of angle DAE is 33. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that, DAE, and then I'm going to go ahead and list in there that the problem told me it's 33. Okay, this angle right here is 33. Then what is the measure of angle BAE? So I'm going to take a different highlighter to look at what I'm trying to find. Okay, well, if I know that DAE and BAE, which is given right here, okay, if I know that those two things are congruent, then I can say that they're equal to one another. So if they're equal to one another, then the measure of angle BAE is also 33 degrees. And there it is. Let's move into another example. Here's the problem. It says point C is between points A and E. And this is going to help you out on your mid-unit test. If AC is 24 units and CE is 13 units, then what is AE? Okay, so first we're given some information. Point C is between AE. So first thing you need to do is draw a picture. Okay, that would help you out super tons. So I'm going to say, okay, on the outside is A and E. And then on the inside is C. Okay, then I'm going to start doing some labeling here. Okay, and it says AC is 24 and CE is 13. So then what is the length from A to E? Well, you use your segment addition postulate. You say 24 plus 13 is going to equal AE. When you add 24 and 13, you get 37. And it would be 37 units because that's what was said in our problem. And there's your solution. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Refer to this image and then find each segment's length. Okay, so I've got the FZ is 13 and then EG is 18. So then the first thing I need to find is ZG. So I'm going to take my highlighter. I'll just do a pen color. Okay, we're going to start with blue. One second. Let me get my pen working right. Okay, so first we're going to start with blue and find ZG. Okay, so there's ZG. We know that ZG has one tick mark, so we find another segment that has one tick mark, which is FZ. We go to the information that was given to us, so we know that since those two things are equal, ZG is also 13. I'm going to change pen colors. Yellow. Now we're going to find FG. Okay, FG is this whole length. Well, if FZ is 13, it won't let me write my 3, and ZG is 13, add those two things together and you get 26. Switching pen colors again. Now I want to find FE. Okay, so FE has two tick marks. Find the other one that has two tick marks. That would be EG. Okay, EG is given to me as 18. So FE is also 18. Okay, and then it says, what would be the addition of FE plus FG? Well, FE is 18. FG is 26. Add those two things together and you get 44. Okay, moving on. Make sure that you know the following terms for your mid-unit test. Okay, that is postulate. A postulate is a statement that is accepted as true. Doesn't need to be proven, it's just accepted as truth. A theorem has to be proven. A definition can be used in a proof. Okay, kind of put a star right there as it's greatly important. Okay, and an unproven theorem cannot be used in a proof. Okay, if you did not prove a theorem and it's not rock solid, you cannot use it in any further proofs. We'll get to more about proofs later on, but this is what you need to know for the mid-unit test. Okay, the last example that we're going to run through says angle measures. So we're going to find each of the following. So I'm going to start with blue. says which angle is adjacent to LCT. Okay, so I'm going to highlight LCT. Remember, adjacent angles have to have a common vertex. So here's a common vertex and a common line segment. So CL. Well, the only other angle that has that vertex and that common line segment would be JCL. Okay, now let's switch. Get a different color. We'll do B in green. It says which angle is supplementary to LCT? Okay, so again, I'm going to highlight LCT. It's that little angle right there. Remember, to make a supplementary angle, it's got to add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to look. Well, if I just did that adjacent angle, that wouldn't give it to me. Okay, so I'm going to have to go all the way until it makes me that line. So I'm going to use LCB. And then it says which angle is complementary. Let me change my color again. We're going to do pink to LCT. Okay, still using the same angle. Complementary means 90 degrees. Okay, so 90 degrees is formed right here. There's a little square there, even though you can't see it because of all my writing. Okay, and that is formed using JCL. Okay, it says name another pair of supplementary angles. There are so many pairs of supplementary angles here, but I'm going to use my highlighter and show you one pair of them. Okay, UCB, I'm going to change it to pink, would be supplementary to UCT. Okay, and then name another pair of complementary angles. Well, I can kind of do it on the flip side of what I did the last time. I can say that JCU is complementary to UCB. Okay, I know that was a lot of information, and this video went a little bit longer, but again, I wanted to review some problems with you for our mid-unit test in 1.10, and good luck. I'll see you next time.